The discussion might seem you're just talking about your case and discussing how it is, but it's not actually the case. What you do, you discuss your case, like this patient for and whatever, and then you put a reference and a text that your patient has this symptoms in comparison to this patient in that case. I'm sorry, put the reference here, for example, and you have a comma, and then this is how it's being done. At least have 3 to 4 references in the discussion. So in the discussion, actually, you're discussing your case or your research question in comparison to others' papers. This is how you do the discussion. And then you have the conclusion, and that's it. See, pretty simple, even easier than the literature review. But it's easier in writing it, but it's harder to find these rare cases. And what other part? So we finished, yes, the case report. And you can find case reports while doing your rotations. You can ask your doctor if he has an interesting case or a patient you have you found that atypical presentation. So a case report, either it's a rare disease, it can be many things, a rare disease, a new technique, new treatment. So that's, people mistake the case reports that's only rare cases, which is wrong. It can be a new technique, a new treatment that worked for someone, and you're reporting that. What else? An anomaly. A patient might have typical disease, but atypical presentation. For example, someone has flu, but the flu has caused him cancer. That's atypical disease, but has atypical presentation, or had nasal bleeding, whatever it can be. Yeah, and then we come to the cross-sectional studies. So for cross-sectional studies, you first need approval from your institution, university, for example. So for medical students, cross-sectional, you might need to take approval from university in a specific, while if it was any other type of study, you, like the cohort studies, the prospective or retrospective, you only need the hospital approval. And for let's talk here about approvals in general before we start talking about the other type. So for cross-sectional, you need approval. For cohort, you need approvals. And for actually only those two, yeah. For meta-analysis and systematic review, no need. For literature reviews, no need. For case reports, yes, this is what I forgot. For case reports, you need consent from the patient. You will find the consent form at your hospital, and you make the patient sign it, because the journal, when you submit, may ask for that. So for cross-sectional, these types of research might sound complicated, but it's not. You just, first of all, you have a protocol, maybe one paper. Sometimes from the hospital, you might have 3 PDFs, but usually from university or my university, they give us 1 PDF. This PDF contains background and an introduction about your paper. If you need funding or you need it's interventional study, you need any so for my university, this protocol is pretty general for any type of research, but for hospitals you might find their paper, their their protocols or proposals. There's a proposal for each and a specific type of research. So for my university, it's general. So they ask you, is it interventional study or not? What's the title? What's the plan on the research? Just stuff that when it looks complicated, but when you read through it, you'll just understand it better, and you will be like mapping your way through the paper, and you're just applying your strategy how to do it. So it's actually useful. You take this paper and you start there. For cross-sectional, you start from the protocol, you read it, and you'll see, it's a template. You just fill the title, fill your idea about the research, what's the background, where sometimes you might have to actually put reference. And this background that you wrote, you can actually use it in the manuscript writing. So this is the first step, is to fill up the approval form or the proposal.